Elsewhere, the Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership, CACOL, has inaugurated its Good Governance, Accountability, Transparency Education program in 13 units sited in 11 local government areas of Lagos State. As President Muhammadu Buhari declares open June 11th as a National Democracy Anti-Corruption Summit. With me in the studio to discuss this is the Chairman, Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership, Debo Adeno. It's good to have you join us at this time.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
So talk to us about the aim of this center, 13 centers, 11 local governments in Lagos.
Thank you very much. We have only one center. We have 13 units in 11 local governments in Lagos. For so long, we have left the fight against corruption to the elites who are actually the main perpetrator of grand corruption in Nigeria. And because they belong to the political class, most of them belong to the political class or private sector collaborators, we believe that there's no way they will want to wholeheartedly wage the war against corruption.
So who constitutes these 13 units and how do they operate?
I'm coming there. What we try to do is to shift the paradigm from the elitist level to the grassroots level. So the Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership, being one NGO that has been fighting corruption for more than 12 years, decided that we needed to set up units of those who will educate the grassroots on the imports of corruption in Nigeria. It is the center that set up these 13 units of good governance, accountability, transparency, education units in Lagos State. We are doing the same thing in Osun State. So we intend to set it up in all the local governments in Lagos. At least we are going to have one unit that contains minimum of 11 people and maximum of any number that they desire to do. So the aim is to educate people on how to identify corruption, how to report corruption, how to gather evidence against corrupt, public or private persons that have committed corruption, how to actually protect the interests of victims of corrupt practices, how to stand as a whistleblower, and how to stand as a witness and give evidence, during the prosecution of corrupt people, how to actually advocate, come out boldly to say that corrupt elements will not come back to our communities.
Right, so as these units are inaugurated now, as they keep working, how do you hope to expand to ensure that this drive against corruption isn't just in one part of the country, but is entire?
We, as soon as we have the financial wherewithal, we are spreading the good news to other states, but we want to entrench it in those two states. They are the pilot states, Lagos State and Osun State. When we succeed, because we want to, the aim is to have at least one unit on every street, so that when they hold meetings, they won't need to take any transport to the venue of the meetings.
All right.
So basically, we intend, by the time they hold their meetings and they get involved in activities, several other people will volunteer to join them. And once they join them, their strength will be enhanced.
All right, one of the triples on which this administration stands is the fight against corruption. So how do you, or what is your advice to government in its fight against corruption? How do you hope government would go ahead with this to see it to a logical conclusion?
Well, what we have been preaching to the government is that when a corrupt element is identified, it should be due diligently investigated. And having done that, it should also be due diligently prosecuted. And the judiciary should ensure that there is enough punishment that will deter deterrent punishments that are meted out on them. If they don't do that, they will encourage other people to go into the trade. But whether or not they did that, they should garner enough political will to prosecute anybody that is caught in the web of corruption. They should not politicize the fight against corruption. They should not say because somebody is number 3 man in Nigeria, you should not face, you know, the law. You should not face the law.
Process is
whether
what you
or
are
not,
looking
no
at.
matter how big, no matter how powerful, no matter how influential, everybody should be treated as being equal before the law.
All right, then, Debo Adeniro, Chairman, Center for Anti-Corruption and Open Leadership. Thank you very much for joining us on TVC News.
It's my pleasure anytime.